What's up, guys? It's Ramon from NyneBlockGaming&Collectibles coming at you with a review slash comparison. So what I have here is I have different forms of Game Boy playing devices. We have a Game Boy Advance with an IPS screen. We have a regular Game Boy. We have the analog pocket. And then we have the new AMOLED display, custom reshelled Game Boy with Type-C charging. This one, Type-C as well. And I'm going to go over, I actually just sold this. And I wanted to do a review video as to why. I know a lot of people will love this device. I am not as much of a fan as some people are. I prefer the feel of the original Game Boys. It feels nicer to hand. I like this better for playing Game Boy cartridges versus this, because that's what you see sticking out when you actually play a Game Boy cartridge on a advanced console. So I like when they go all the way down. That way if I drop it by accident, I don't have to worry about my game cracking in half from sticking out so far. And it's actually has a protector on it, which I try to do on the more expensive consoles that I customize. This one I bought. I'm actually getting into soldering and customization, so I'm going to be making this Game Boy into a Ho-Ho AMOLED with Type-C charging. But to get back on track, I'll show you the Advance first. It's not actually a color. This one has a improved speaker. I'll be doing that with my newest one, because this one really shows the difference on the originals, because both these have the original speakers. But this gets incredibly loud. And sounds great. So this is an IPS screen. Now, if we want to compare that to an original, just to show you how much improvement you get, this is an original Game Boy Color screen. So let's turn this volume down so you can hear how much of an improvement that speaker is. This is max volume, all the way up. If you guys saw, I just stretched the screen, which you can do. If you don't mind pixel stretching, I prefer to keep it original aspect ratio, because it looks a little weird stretched out like that. Which that doesn't. The screen fills on advanced games. Advanced games are considered widescreen. So now let's turn on the AMOLED. And again, original speaker. I'll turn this one down. Yeah, max volume. So yeah, when I'm going to be making this into my Ho Game Boy, I am absolutely changing the speaker out, because once you actually hear the upgraded speakers, and they're not expensive at all, they sound amazing. So comparison for display. This is the AMOLED, and then versus the IPS. You can see the IPS with viewing angles changes a little bit. The AMOLED can be viewed at almost any angle. This one almost looks like the picture is set into the screen. This one's like all the way on the outside, so you get a little bit of shifting image clarity when you tilt it. Now, finally, we're going to power on the pocket. Now, it is a much bigger screen. It has a better and this is a good speaker. The aspect ratio on the games is pretty close, so it doesn't look stretched like that does. You can see it doesn't look like a stretched image on the bigger screen. And I'm going to show you why I do not like this in comparison. I'm trying to do the Nido King glitch right now. So, if I take this out, turn this off, we'll swap the cartridges around. So now I have, this actually had some color. This is not an authentic one. This is an authentic one, just so you guys are aware. Let's wake this guy back up. Now here is what I don't like about the pocket. Outside of it's very heavy, which is due to the battery size of this thing. And the shoulder buttons just don't, it doesn't feel right in my hand. I just prefer the original aesthetics. So here is something you're going to see. Look at the colors. This is a Game Boy game. See how we don't get colors like we do when I have this in an Advance or a Game Boy Color. It goes to grayscale like a Game Boy Pocket. And the reason being for that is that the Game Boy Color actually had the information stored in the chip of the Game Boy itself to take the greenish or black and gray scale, or the gray scale from the pocket, and translate that into colored images like you see here. It wasn't built onto the cartridge, or maybe it was. I just know that using the FGPA technology that the Analog uses, they couldn't replicate the actual chip information that translated these games into a actual color scheme, so it has to remain grayscale. So you can see that even in here. So if I were to play Game Boy Advance games, I prefer the wide aesthetic. I think this is very comfortable in hand outside of the Game Boy. But again, the only reason I don't play original cartridges in it is because how they hang out the top. I prefer a Game Boy Color for that, and nostalgic purposes as well, because they fully go into the system. And the AMOLED or the AMOLED screens are amazing. They are amazing. You can see this. This looks great, and it just it makes these classic games feel renewed in itself. Just updating that screen. When if you remember playing these games under a light like this, squinting to see it or using the magnifying light attachment that they had. This is just so much better looking than this. So, in my opinion, Game Boy Advance with an IPS screen is the best way to play Advance now. That I don't really have a SP, but again, I like the aesthetic of the wide. I have an SP coming that I'm going to be customizing, but I likely play on this more than I will that. And for color, the OLED Game Boys are excellent options to play. And if this would have actually displayed my original Game Boy games in color, I think maybe I would have just kept it in case there was reasons. Like, it has an SD card, so you can do like ROM hacks and stuff on it. But if you're just going like a digital version, this is a very expensive option to play just ROMs. Like, I don't know why you would solely use this for ROMs if you don't have physical cartridges. In that case, just buy an emulating device and you're set for your ROMs. I have a 3DS that is jailbroke, and that's what I would use for that. But there you are. These are your options. My choice is these two here. I'll maybe show a video of that when it's all said and done. I'm not dogging on the analog and FPGA technology. I think it's great to get consoles that are updated. I just don't think the handheld's it. Like, if I wanted a bigger screen, I have a GameCube with the Game Boy adapter, and I could play it on my TV with surround sound system for better speakers. If I want to go handheld, and it's heavy, like it gives hand wear. My hands get tired from holding this thing. The back buttons for advanced games, they're right next to the cartridge. I just prefer these nice buttons here. I think this form factor is just better. And then the other thing, granted, you can customize your button layouts, but they use, instead of like these two being the same, it's these two and these two, which felt odd to me, because I was hitting these trying to hit A and B, but this is A and B, which was odd. But again, you can change that. I'm almost certain. But yeah, guys, at the current rates of pockets, if you're a little handy and can solder, get one of these. Get an old Game Boy, buy just maybe the motherboard, and upgrade the Game Boy with these new AMOLED screens. They're on AliExpress for fairly cheap. I will post a link in this video where you can purchase the screen and shells that will go with it. But that's it for the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments which one you guys like the best. Do you actually like the old ones? I know I did as a kid when I was playing this. But when you see these side by side, I don't know that I'd ever play this way again. And then especially with the Game Boy Advance as well. But yeah, give me a like, share the video, comment which one of these you like the most, and subscribe to the channel if you like what I'm doing. Oh, and check this out. I bought a lot that came with this of games. I got Gold and Silver complete in box, but look at this old 1990s Ho-Oh, which is why I'm making this into a Ho-Oh to go into this case. It's like pristine. This thing looks great. But yep, that's it, guys. I will see you in the next one. Later.
Welcome to NyneBlock, where the gamers flock. Action figures and collectibles, we're the top stock. Marvel, DC, but DBZ is the main squeeze. Magic the Gathering, bringing you the ease. Card packs opening, reviews so tight. D9 Dice Gaming, under the bright light. NyneBlock, the channel you gotta see. Gaming and collectibles, we're the key. So hit that subscribe, join the crew. 9Block Gaming, we're coming through. Action figures, card games, we do it all on 9Block channel. We stand tall.